Good morning, everyone. Chris at Dentless Touch back at it with another dent repair for you. This time around we have a Mazda Model 3. I don't know the year. I would probably say around 2015-ish. Anyway, we have the dent in the left rear door this time around. And I think just from the Nissan that we did last week, I think we're gonna make the decision to take the door off and work it from that way. Kind of like the Porsche video that we did. I think it would just ultimately just save us a bunch of time. So I'm bringing you guys along, so let's get started. So what we did at first, before we took the door off, is we glue pulled the edge and kind of wanted to see, again, how metal flows. Most of the dent came up easy, so now I'm gonna attack that crown while the door is still on the car. I'm gonna give myself about 30 minutes of working this damage to see where it's gonna be at in 30 minutes, because that's gonna be the determining factor if I want to take the door off or not. I don't want to spend 5 hours on this and realize I should have took the door off. So 30 minutes is all I'm allocating to play around with this. Knock down the crown, get a tool in there to see if I can get right on this very edge, and we'll go from there.
I've been working this panel from the other way, perpendicular to this damage. So now what I'm doing is I'm actually putting the light parallel to the damage because there's some direction within the actual damage from just us pushing. So what this allows us to do is actually see those little lows that we're not seeing from the cross check. The biggest thing was actually being a repainted panel. So as you can see from some of the before shots, we were actually glue pulling on it. That was actually going to kind of give us a good indicator of how well the panel was painted. We were able to glue pull, which just means that it was a well painted panel. So, but there is still always that risk. We don't know where there are. We don't know where there is material within that panel. Material meaning Bondo. So what happens is once there's damage to the panel and you go to the body shop, what they're actually going to do is fill the damaged area a lot of the times with a certain aftermarket material, being Bondo. What happens is over time is that starts to cure and it hardens, and then they're able to actually spray paint right over it. So what happens is when we're actually pushing on that metal, we're pushing on metal, but then there's an aftermarket filler on top of the metal, and then there's paint over that as well. So what happens is when we're pushing, we do run the risk, or there is a risk of the paint and Bondo actually cracking. Thankfully, throughout this repair, it didn't happen, but there is that risk. So you just having to be more meticulous with your pushes throughout the entire repair. That was probably the main challenge with this one. The next thing after that, there was some crowns and stuff like that, that we had to deal with, but I think being a repainted panel was probably the biggest difficulty or biggest obstacle throughout this entire repair. Other than that, everything was pretty straightforward. The amount of tools used were, the whole cart was probably just taken out, so you probably don't see any of that, but throughout the video you do see tools just all over the ground. And that's just trying to find different access points, different leverage points. So we're constantly trying to make the repair easier for ourselves, but find something that's going to give us the best pushing power, along with just a good solid push behind that metal, and then just connect those pushes and slowly bring that metal right back up to its original shape. So that's actually what we were doing this entire time, just really battling that painted panel, using every tool we had in our arsenal just to bring that metal right back to its original shape and get the customer back on the road looking good as new.